Nugget.
Nuggets with Sharon and Johnny.
What does centering the most marginalized look like, and why is it important? For me, this question is all about humility.
Hmm.
So, like, it's about humility, it's about intention, it's about ego, it's about just like, so let's shift away from race for just 1 second and shift into sexuality
Yeah.
or gender. Let's do that. Let's do gender. So if I have, so I identify as female. I have I go by she, her generally. Sometimes people mistaken me for a boy. That's fine. I love it. Um, some people don't know because I look androgynous, so they say they, them. That's fine. I love it. But like, if I wanted to center a trans person in an experience, I have to put my ego away and be vulnerable and say, hey, trans person, what do you need in this situation, in this piece, in this art, in this school, in this establishment? Like, what do you need? It has to be about them. And because I am a marginalized person, I have the practice of not being front and center.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's particularly hard for some white people not to center themselves because they're used to it. So when I'm so if so be if I was talking to a trans person, I have experience of not being centered. So I know what it's like to feel not centered in a situation. So I have the tools to really make sure that I feel like that trans person is being centered.
Mhm.
But white people not so much. So for me, if a white person wants to know how do they do that, in a racial way. It's just about like humility. It's this stuff. I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record. Humility and vulnerability, like it's just. But
Yeah.
it's like for me, it's like put that ego away. Assume you don't know. Um, be humble. Be vulnerable. Ask questions. Open your ears and your heart way the fuck up. Way, whoa, 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 because like I mean that's gonna be like it might be hurtful. Like in the trans case, what if trans person says, females make me uncomfortable in this way, XYZ. I'm gonna be hurt. That has to be okay.
Yeah.
It has to be okay for me to hear things I don't want to hear because the purpose is for them to feel comfortable and safe because in the gender world they may not feel as safe.
Mhm.
In the race world it's no different. It's like we have to make sure ego's out the way. I have a giant ego. I have a tattoo right here learning about all my tattoos.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Is it that? Yeah,
Okay.
the one closest to the wrist.
So the big circle represents what size my ego is, and the smallest circle represents what size my ego needs to be. And it's like a reminder that I need to fucking put that shit away. Cause I'm a Leo and I have a giant ego. I have a giant ego. And so I need to put that
Yeah.
shit away.
Yeah.
And so like that's for me, it's about like it's not about you.
Yeah.
And it's really not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about, it has to be about the person.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that
I love that.
if like, I mean, not to take it back to colonialism, but have a feeling that if white people showed up in like, I don't know, like fucking Liberia or like one of these West African countries or India or any of this fucking colonized place and asked the people like, hey, what do you guys want? I feel like our world would look a little different than it does now.
Yes, yes, yes. If I could turn back time.